everyone has become a tariffs expert overnight. At least that's what it feels like on my personal social media pages, in my inbox of other trading advisory alerts. And hey, I'm not at all saying that, it's all right or all wrong. I'm just saying I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about what I understand about tariffs as it relates to a few key markets in a way that I believe can help you right away. So if you're new here, I'm Hema Reddy. I use price action, candlesticks like these, market timing, that's the bottom axis of your chart, the actual time and date, and momentum, the RSI power zones plotted here in TradingView now to boost my trading and that of our tribes. So I have a few points I'll make about tariffs as I understand them. Again, I am no expert, so do your own research. So I have the chart of Amazon up. Why? Because they're reporting earnings soon. And I also have a personal interest in Amazon. My family owns several shares, you could say. So what I want to point out about Amazon and how tariffs could affect it is under the umbrella of think about tariffs on an individual company and that effect, but then also on its industry and how its competitors might be affected. So Amazon obviously has a lot of products that come from like third-party sellers in China, and those would get taxed more, right, with the tariffs, and you could anticipate perhaps less demand if the prices go up. However, Amazon also has competitors that are bubbling up, like Temu. I mean, my husband has ordered more like $4 sweatpants than I can count. And those businesses are possibly not set up to withstand the tariffs on Chinese companies. So net, one could argue that maybe Amazon would be okay in a trade war situation, because while it would, yes, hurt some of its bottom line potentially, its competitors might get dinged even more. So my point here, again, I'm not a tariffs expert. I'm not going to try to be. My point here is like use some common sense, okay? If you're trading individual baskets of stocks, so my traders out there who are maybe swing traders and you're trading individual stocks, look at the stocks and how they've reacted to past major changes in tariffs, like the actual implementation and the announcements, because right now we're in that in between, and then use that to help better shape your decisions about managing your trades, okay? So that's one thing. Now I'm just going to go over to the ES futures, again, still on a daily chart, because I just want this to be my proxy, my representative for the broad market. And actually I'm going to do this on a cleaner chart here, so I'll still go to a daily time frame. Now this other indicator you see in my charts, I have two versions of it. One where it has the buy and sell alerts logged on or lit up, and the other like this where they're hidden, just to make ease of analysis. This is the money bell indicator provided by my friend Bill Poulos, and I've recently got into it and think it could be helpful to my trading. So what I'm making a point about here is that there's going to be, whatever happens with the tariffs, again, I'm not an expert, there's probably going to be short-term effects and long-term effects. Possibly short-term pain to companies as they deal with the higher costs, if the tariffs get implemented, if there's counter tariffs, and then it just keeps battling, right? Versus the long-term effects, which in the way that President Trump is saying he wants to use them as a strategy, could be realized. It's too early to know, right? So this is a strategy, it's a tool. And just like any other tool in life, and you can use a hammer to build a house, you can also use a hammer to hurt somebody on purpose. So tariffs are a tool. They're not good or bad, in my opinion. They depends on what happens with them. So what do I expect for broad markets? So for those of you who trade like the ES like me, NQ, any broad market index or ETF, right? I would expect a good amount of volatility. For example, we had this gap lower here. Overnight, I was literally watching when the market opened 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. But the amazing thing is the gap lower was to a forecast level. And while I calculated that forecast in my report after the fact, it still helped provide confidence that there may be a recovery, and that's what's unfolding today. Let's take this to a 60-minute time frame. Now, my futures data is 100% live and up to speed. My stock data has a marginal delay. I'll show you what I mean when I go back to another stock. All right. So that's my takeaway for you if you're trading broad markets. Don't get too caught up in the nuances of each tariff and its geographic impact and its company impact. Just be prepared for increased volatility, maybe take your profits faster and go from there. Okay. Now my third point is to our Forex traders, because obviously with these battles between countries, this could affect the Forex market. So I don't really look at Forex that much, but I'm going to pull it up here and I'm going to see what I can do. I'm not even used to looking at it on TradingView, but I'm going to learn here with you. So let's start with dollar CAD, because obviously those tariffs are on the table, okay? So this is an hourly chart. Let's go back to a daily for some perspective. So with today's action, the dollar CAD pair gapped higher and traded lower and is now recovered a little bit off of the intraday low. Now remember, Forex trades basically 24/7. So what I'll say is this: if you are trading specific currency pairs and you know that the currency you're trading is of a country that has a direct tariff battle going, right? Canada, China, Mexico, right? Then you need to be extra careful of increased volatility. But if you're trading other pairs, it may be sort of background noise, or it may take longer for any tariffs that possibly do get enacted to affect your pair, okay? So again, this is just common sense HEMA coming here. I'm not a tariffs expert. I'm just trying to give you some insight so that you're not freaking out about what this is going to do for your trading. Again, all of this is right now a lot of talks and policies being laid out, but as of the creation of this video, in the middle of the day, February 3rd, these things aren't all enacted yet. So you gotta, if you're going to say that tariffs are going to shape your trading strategy, well, then you do need to become a tariffs expert, because you're going to need to stay on top of all the changes, all the rebuttals and everything else, okay? I don't have an interest in doing that personally. I'm going to watch the charts and use some common sense. So there's my 3 takeaways for you, right? With the Amazon chart, I made the point about individual company reaction versus particular industries. With the ES chart, I made the point about the short-term effects, that short-term volatility versus whatever their long-term goals are. And here with Forex, it's really about making sure you know what you're trading and how it ties to countries that are directly dealing with the tariffs. So if this was helpful, please let me know. Drop a like on this video, put a comment down below, and let me know any questions, follow-up you have. I will dive way deeper into all of this in our monthly group coaching live coming up here on Wednesday, February 5th. All right, we'll see what unfolds with all the tariff drama, and I'll catch you soon.